My name is Ryan Carroll, and I am the defensive line coach here at St. John Fisher College. I am a staff associate for the football team, earning my MBA. I am not originally from Rochester. I am actually from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, about 4.5 hours away. Growing up in Pittsburgh was obviously really fun. It's a great city, great town. There's a lot to do. Um, Growing up, my parents got divorced when I was young, so that was kind of tough. But I have a younger brother. Him and I are really close. And growing up, like I said, had its ups and downs, but had a great childhood. Went to a great high school. Had a great 4 years. Played football all throughout, and just kind of worked really hard at it. And I have a great support family, and so I would say overall my experience growing up was awesome. Yeah. Coming from a two-family home definitely impacted me. Sport-wise, it was tough traveling back and forth between the two. But as far as sports go, I always kept it on the same page. They were both very supporting and very loving of me and whatever I was doing, whether it was football. I did play basketball at one point in my life. Also played baseball and stuff like that. But as far as the support, it was equal. Things happen and you just gotta move on. So as far as support goes, it was great. It was good. The comparison of football from where I'm from compared to New York is a little different, obviously. Um, Being from Western PA and being from Pittsburgh, football is like a religion, you could say. We had 9 game seasons, playoffs on Thanksgiving, and things like that. It was awesome. A lot of great talent, Dan Marino, Montana, Darrell Revis, Mike Ditka. I mean, the list goes on. So there's a tradition. And then you come up here and football is about a 6 or 7 game season, so it's a little different. But I would say, to compare the two, I would say football might be a little bit better in Pittsburgh, obviously. So my freshman year in high school, I was I was one of the better guys on the team, freshman wise. Didn't see the field because we had a really good high school team my freshman year, and so I didn't really say I did. I would probably characterize myself as not taking it as serious as I should have. My sophomore year, I ended up playing a lot, ended up starting, and coaches came in and talked to me and stuff like that, and I discussed it with my family, and I thought it would be a good idea for me to definitely kind of put my mind to it and kind of see where it takes me. So as far as me understanding when I wanted to start playing was probably my sophomore year of high school was when I wanted to. I think the big difference between the players and us, me being a young coach, you being a young coach slash video ops guy, whatever. I think the big difference is just a realism factor, and still there is a maturity gap. Um, our guys and football players in general nowadays, it's really tough to get the guys going, to to get the guys playing and kind of buying into what we're doing. And sometimes it happens too late. It happens when you're done. And I went through that a little bit, and I'm sure you have or other guys have. And I just don't want the guys to make the same mistake and kind of realize how good they have it until they're done playing. So I think the largest difference probably would be the realism, kind of the wake up factor, and the maturity aspect of it. I got recruited. I ended up going to Mercyhurst University over in Erie. That's where I went and played my 4 years. But I got recruited basically by that whole Division II Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. I got looks at them. I took the visits to Pitt, Syracuse, did all that stuff just for the experience. I knew I really wouldn't see the field. I'm too short, and I didn't really have the athletic ability that those other guys had. Um, but I ended up going to Mercyhurst University. All right, Coach Schetzel over there recruited me. You know, came to my house, did a home visit, and I wanted to visit, and they offered me, and ended up signing. I would say the difference between the two divisions, Division Three and Division Two, I think not a lot, to be honest. There's not a lot of difference, but you can offer scholarships. You can offer athletic scholarships. I think the biggest difference is the level of play interiorly at the offensive line, defensive line position. I think skill is pretty similar, but the guys up front are bigger, faster, stronger. So I think the biggest difference is probably like the the box.
Yeah,
I
the
guess you could
box.
say. Yeah, the guys in the trenches. I guess you could say. I think that's the biggest difference. The atmosphere at Mercyhurst was a little different. Um, Mercyhurst is a Division I hockey school, and they're a top tier Division II lacrosse school. So football kind of fell behind some other sports. As far as atmosphere goes, game day wise, it was great. It's a small town. Erie's relatively tiny. Mercyhurst is about relative size, same with Fisher. So we averaged about 3,500 in attendance per game. So it wasn't too bad, but I would say compared to Fisher, Fisher does, I think, a much better job as far as athletic atmosphere and facilities, and that all adds to the kind of the picture and things like. The facilities at Mercyhurst are not as nice as St. John Fisher's. So you characterize St. John Fisher's facility as being decent compared to almost every Division II school over in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Fisher has better facilities. So it's kind of funny, yeah, Division II, you can offer athletic scholarships and things of that nature, but sometimes they lack in facilities. So, St. John Fisher's facilities are beautiful. They do a really good job. Compared to what I had at Mercyhurst, our weight room, locker room were beneath a girls' dorm in basically the basement. So it was a little different. We still have nice things, but it's, compared to St. John Fisher kind of blows it out of the water, I would say. Well, the point at which I started seeing the field was very early in my career. I got there as a freshman, and I was looking around. I'm like, oh my God, I'm never going to play. I'm going to get redshirted. I'm going to be a practice dummy. I'm never going to see the field. I ended up getting reps in camp. Towards the end of camp, I was running kind of ones and twos, so I kind of climbed up the ladder pretty early. I started the third game of the season, and from that point on, I never have not started in my career unless I got hurt. So I guess to answer your question, it was basically the third game is when I started with the ones, but as far as seeing the field and things of that nature, it was pretty early in my freshman year. I'm getting my MBA in general management. That's my concentration. So, Master's of Business Administration with a concentration in general management, and I am on set to graduate in May.
So, what do you plan on doing with that?
So, my plans once I get my MBA would be to stay in coaching. Um, a coach with an advanced degree, such as a master's of business or master's of education or physical health or anything, what have you, kind of puts them in a different stack of resumes, I guess you could say. So I plan on looking. I love Fisher. I could stay here for a little bit longer and kind of use that time to kind of gain knowledge and things like that. But once I get my MBA, I'm really going to kind of gear my focus from academics to more of a coaching role, recruiting, kind of start to really embody it a little bit more. I think my biggest deciding factor in not choosing Mercyhurst was I didn't want to coach the players that I played with. So I, Coach Schetzel over at Mercyhurst and Coach Remedios, they asked me to be a GA there for 2 years, and I thought about it long and hard. But I thought it would be a better opportunity for myself to kind of go out, see what other programs do, see what other teams are like, and you know, not coach the guys that I played with because they already have a set, you know,
Mentality.
yeah, picture of me and kind of what I do. So I don't think they really take me as serious as the guys do here. So it was kind of a fresh start, getting out in the world, kind of seeing, experiencing a different conference. You know, kind of seeing the differences in Division Two, Division Three, and things like that. So that's kind of why I came to Fisher. I'm all open, so I could definitely see myself going back to Division Two. I would go Division Three, Division One Double A. It really doesn't matter for me. It's just kind of like what is the best suit for me, kind of what's the best fit, the best opportunity for myself at the time. And to be honest, a lot of it is luck. You know, a lot of it is just happen to be in the right place at the right time. So, you know, I can see myself really going anywhere, which is really nice for me.
Yeah, being so young and
Yeah,
having
being a
that.
young guy, just trying to get that experience, and you know, hopefully, and you know, I just stay open. You know, always networking, always making good relationships, and just being, you know, respectful of the process is always a big help. So, I would say, you know, kind of my future would be to go wherever is the best fit for myself.